talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seat while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turn my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stared by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. And no one dare disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. The neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. Said I, you do not know. 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. And no one dare disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stand too long, I'll probably break down and cry. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. She's got eyes of the bluest skies, as if they thought of rain. I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where, as a child, I'd hide and pray for the thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, 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 sweet love of mine.
Console Wars the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now. This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the XboxEra podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Torn Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/XboxEra, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Headlines, XboxEra's twice weekly show that covers all of the latest and greatest from across the video game industry. Today's date is November the 11th, 2025. I'm your host, John, and joining me as always is Jesse Norris.
Look, it's little John down there. You moved your camera.
My camera. Now I'm like this.
Hello, folks.
I wanted to get the needler in. All right, let me fix this shit. All right.
Well, you can get the needler in, but it just needs to be a little more centered. There you go.
There we go. Is everything okay now? Mm-hmm. Is everything meeting with everybody's approval?
I had a cute kitty cat here, and he just ran away. It sucks.
I think I've got cute kitty cats. Yeah, but you can only see one of them, but there are two here. Three, technically.
I got it.
One of them has opposable thumbs. As a bonus for our wonderful patrons, we do make audio versions of these news-focused shows available to them via Patreon for use in their preferred podcast app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your account to Patreon and listen to it there instead, which is lovely. If you would like to consider, possibly maybe, supporting XboxEra directly, head over to patreon.com/XboxEra. On that note, before we get into things, a little bit of housekeeping. You know how we do things around here. A little bit of housekeeping.
Am I going to be showing an image?
Yeah, why not? I just wanted to let folks know, share the news. As always, with everything that we do, we try and think about like what you guys want. And following one of our Patreon town hall meetings where we heard directly from the folks that support us financially, we've started to implement a number of changes / improvements / ideas that we want to do and hopefully can be consistent with. The first of which is a new feature that goes live every Sunday that will be labeled This Week on XboxEra. The nutshell is we want to give you guys a schedule of what you can expect content-wise from us day in, day out. And that
has to be delicately done sometimes, because obviously there might be reviews with specifically timed embargoes that we won't specifically mention, but we will say you can expect a review or multiple reviews today. You can expect Patreon exclusive content on this day. You can expect these features on this day. And we're trying to build that out more and more as we look at our content pipeline week on, week out, to make it worthwhile to you, so that you know when you can tune in for new stuff. And
Like,
also, frankly,
I can't just blurt out and say that I have a review for Pigeon Simulator coming.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that, like a pigeon would just poop. You could just go "Bleh," and just blurt that out.
Mm-hmm.
But more than anything else, outside of highlighting how much work we do, and how much we value you lot, I also wanted to kind of underscore how much we do compared to perhaps our peers in this space. Not casting or throwing any shade.
Wow,
I'm just simply suggesting that in terms of pure bang for your buck, you'll be hard pressed to find an outlet that does more for less. I'll put it that way. Is that the right way to put it? I feel like that's fair.
We do a lot.
We do a lot. We do a lot. Another one of the features that went out this week, and we've invested in polls now that can go up on XboxEra.com, so you can kind of have a vote on various topics. And as we progress forward and we've kind of sought out our content production pipeline, one of the things we'll be allowing our Patreon members to do is to kind of highlight games that are coming out in the month ahead that we know of, and being like, oh, I know that's a really small game, but can we have a review on that? And we will go and hunt down with the publisher or the developer and see if we can actually make that happen for you.
If anyone wants to,
read a
because I
review.
also can't force people to play stuff.
Yeah, we can't force people to do stuff. So we'll do our best to kind of cover that and give patrons as much opportunity and voice as possible, including patrons like the lovely Jay Foley, who just dropped an entertaining fist-bumping pigeon, I guess, with a $3 super chat. Thanks, Jay. But yeah.
Technically, it's called a super sticker.
A super sticker, okay. Noted. Thanks, YouTube. Outside of that, there are a couple of other pieces of content live on XboxEra.com. One is our new Checkpoint series, which is which mode of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 are you planning on playing first, if you're planning on playing it at all. We also have 25 of the very best Bullet Heaven or Bullet Survivors-like games on Xbox available for you to kind of have a look at and see what you think. Fairy Empire is he's a connoisseur of these games.
An aficionado.
Yeah. So you can go have a look. Do you agree with that list? Is he missing one? Let us know. But there are also reviews from Scripted for Kentum, which is a surprisingly cool-looking Metroidvania meets Satisfactory / Terraria type game, which is available to watch now.
Yeah, here's the first review I've seen. Yeah,
I think we're the only ones that have reviewed it. There's also a review for Let Them Come Onslaught, which is another Bullet Heaven game that's released on Xbox recently. I interviewed the developers.
Yeah, you did the 1v1.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's been embedded inside. No one, but we do the content, because we actually want to hear from the developers.
It was a good
that
interview,
make these games. Oh, me, mate. Anyways, we're just underlining again. There's a lot of content out there that we're going to be planning on bringing you every week, and you should probably tune in.
No, it is. We are slowing down because releases are slowing down. So the review is slow, but we'll have other stuff.
Yes. Well, it's actually the opportunity to do more of the silly things. Like I want to do a delicious tears episode and so on and so forth. Anyway, let's get on with the news, because this is a news-focused show, and that's what you lot are here for. And of course, the headline news coming out of the weekend was
where we had
Rockstar.
no podcast, so it's the first time we really get to talk about it.
This is the first time we really get to talk about it. In news that surprised absolutely no one, GTA 6 is delayed once again by 6 months from its original May 26th, 2026 date to November 19th, I think, right? November 19th?
Yes.
Sounds about right.
Right around, and everyone's immediately like, the Halo campaign evolved release date.
Yeah.
Potentially, if they were doing it on the anniversary. So, but frenemy Tom Henderson on their podcast said it has been content complete for a while. So this is all about polish, which I don't doubt.
Yeah.
With how systems heavy their games can be, even though the missions do tend to be rather structured and scripted, the actual emergent gameplay outside of them is generally incredibly CPU heavy and prone to breaking. And with the fidelity they are going for, I'm not shocked that it would need a very long time for polish.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see it delay again into Q1 of 2027, to be honest.
Historically, this is normally it.
Yeah, historically.
Doesn't mean it's a
still
guarantee.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the only reason Rockstar were in the news, right? They were also in the news for the firing and dismissal of around 30 or so Rockstar North employees across the UK and Canada, of which they were accused of gross misconduct. Coincidentally, of course, and definitely nothing to do with it, they were all part of a team trying to form a union and were in a group discussing that union with union representatives. That is where they allegedly revealed company secrets and private information, leading to their dismissal. They were protesting outside of Rockstar North last week. I'm not sure if that protest is continuing. The folks at People Make Games, I think, released a video today on this topic, which I would recommend for people watch, because those guys make some incredibly good documentary style content that focuses on the human beings that actually make video games. But yes, and I'm reading directly from Chris Bratt here, who says there's a cold brutality to this story that you'll only understand by hearing from the former employees themselves, as they describe the eternal shame and profound sense of loss that comes with being discarded in this way. Despite the shell shock, the Rockstar 31, as well as the workers fired in Canada, are now preparing to fight for what they believe are unlawful actions taken by Rockstar management. Not a great time for Rockstar, admittedly, right?
Unfortunately, by the time anything comes out, no one will know or care. It's just the reality of it.
That's the depressing thing.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks.
That is the thing that sucks, because this industry has a short memory when it comes to a lot of things.
It's every industry, really. Like you look at any entertainment industry, and pretty much anyone can, if they just give it a little bit of time, outside of the most heinous crimes, you can generally just come back. Like, cancel culture does not exist.
It's a fallacy.
Yeah.
I am a bit bummed that GTA has been delayed out of the summer, to be honest. I think that would have been a really great time to see it, where a lot of the industry don't always release the big guns.
I'm more hopeful that it means Microsoft is like, okay, a little bit forward on some stuff. You know?
Maybe. But
you get your Gears in July, maybe, instead of August or September.
Microsoft also aren't particularly great at making decisions, I don't think, and they'll probably just send things out to die, and then in 3 months go, I wonder why that underperformed. And then we're back
mostly what they've talked about is that it's also they just have so much on their own that they can't really move because of other people. Like their own slate is so full that they just have to get stuff out.
So it makes you wonder, will they move something for GTA 6? Because I don't think any other studio would want to be releasing the same week, even really the same kind of 3-week period as GTA.
As long as you can get out a week or two before with something like Halo Campaign Evolved, it's just single player.
It is just a single player, yeah.
So you don't want to get, like, if Forza Horizon 6 was planned to be that time, even though all the rumors are its first half. But if it had been, that is the type of thing where it's this big open world racing thing. And guess what? GTA has a lot of, like, there's going to be overlap there anyways. Just the live service, we want you to play this type of game forever, is the thing you want to keep away from the biggest live service we're going to keep you playing forever game.
Yeah. Equally though, like, because it's moved out of May, I think Forza Horizon 6 will be fine.
Yeah, no. If it had been later, that's the type of thing you want to be careful of.
Yeah,
but it was already. But awesome. The rumors were that it was coming out the exact same month before the delay, so they're probably happy.
Maybe they're breathing a sigh of relief. Yeah. I'm bummed. Like, I wanted to play it as soon as possible and see whether they've improved on things, whether there's a good game underneath the incredible worlds they make. Yeah. And I know, like, that's a hot take from me. I don't think GTAs have played particularly well. And I've always
5
kind of
plays okay on PC again. That's one of the main issues. And
Yeah,
the
I haven't
upgrade,
played
the
it on PC.
upgraded versions play better. But it's very much like Red Dead, where last gen, if you played it, Red Dead's input latency is so bad on console that I wouldn't give it more than like an 8, even though on PC it's the most 10 I've ever played because it plays amazingly well.
It does play.
Yeah.
It also supports ultra wide and looks.
Yep.
It's the level of world detail that Rockstar just
The human
Phil.
misery on the screen to make this beauty.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got to wonder, considering the amount of crunch that's probably happened to get that over the line, whether reviews will dock points.
Jason
for that,
Schreier
for the human
has
cost involved.
claimed, talking with people there overall, that the culture shifted heavily after Red Dead 2 because Red Dead 2
That's
almost
really
killed the
good to hear.
studio. Like it almost it was years of crunch on Red Dead 2 because no matter what Nick says, they don't have infinite time and infinite money. And the games haven't been in development, full actual development, as long as people would think. It hasn't been. They've been working on GTA 5 nonstop or 6 nonstop since 5 ended. Like they were on online.
There's a pre-production period.
Yeah, then they're on Red Dead. Like it's the Bethesda thing. Bethesda has a team working on a game. They have a team working on support of their previous release, and they have a team working on pre-production of their next one. But the pre-production and the post-launch support are generally a lot smaller over time compared to the next big game coming out. So until you're the next thing coming out, you don't have the full studio, really.
Yeah. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 6. We'll see you in November next year. Coincidentally, coming out on my mother's birthday. Bless her. Next up in news, that's not the only video game to see a slight delay. Teenage Adventure Mixtape from developers Beethoven and Dinosaur has been delayed to 2026. It was the team's hope that they would get this out this year, but in their own words, they're still putting the knobs on.
Yeah, it was when I remember talking at Summer Games Fest, and I was like, "That's the hope for 2025."
Yeah,
but I was like,
there was lots of crossed fingers.
when it's just
right?
a hope, then it's like, yeah, take your time.
They never specifically gave a date in 2025, just that it was like coming 2025. But in an amusing social media post to kind of let folks know about the delay, they posted like a mixtape of tracks to listen to, including John Denver, I'm Sorry, Andy Williams, In Good Time, or something like that. So, like, you know, they were having some fun with their delay announcement. And as well as that, we also have Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. That was also delayed same day as Rockstar announced GTA 6 being delayed. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra from Skydance Games,
Which,
has also been
unlike
delayed.
Mixtape, never seen a second of the actual game.
Yep, never seen any actual gameplay.
Yeah, we got the
from this yet.
very pretty looking story trailer and tech demo. But not actually like, what is this Captain America and Black Panther World War II game going to actually be? It's a cool concept. It's got a Rockstar talent behind it. But whenever Amy Hennig is involved in something, much like Jade Raymond, I am always worried about it actually ever releasing.
Yeah.
Also, this Captain America is really dorky looking.
He does look a bit dorky.
Yeah.
Anyway, in other news, and probably even though GTA 6 was the big news story like over the weekend, it's been replaced, I think, by this story, especially today.
I almost made it the
like
topic.
Yeah, it is an interesting topic, and I think there's some debate here. So, chat, do let us know if you have thoughts on this. So, first of all, Arc Raiders has been out for just under 2 weeks now, and the developers at Embark confirmed, I think yesterday, that they topped over 700,000 concurrent players across the weekend. Now, the peak on Steam was 460 or 416. I can't remember now. I think it was 460,000 people on Steam alone, which suggests that is the lion's share of people playing the game. But certainly there's a significant number across consoles, so Xbox and PlayStation. They also confirmed that they've sold 4 million copies worldwide, which is an incredible number to do from, relatively speaking, a smaller team financed by Nexon. yes, but a smaller team making a extraction shooter of all things. Like, I don't know about you, but my feed is filled with amusing social interaction clips of people screaming and having fun in Arc Raiders, either being betrayed or doing the betraying. Now, on top of that, it was one of the highest rated multiplayer games of the year until yesterday, when Eurogamer shared their review and gave it a 2 out of 5.
Now, glowing positive review for the first half.
For the first half, yeah, like, oh, wow. The big controversy here is that Eurogamer chose to make their thoughts, or this individual reviewer's thoughts, about AI use and how Embark have used AI in games, and effectively have docked it points because it's kind of, you're making a game about robots taking over the world and you are using robots to help develop your game. I don't know how I feel about this. There are two ways I think about it, really. One is, hey, it's one opinion in a sea of opinions, and who honestly really gives a shit? Like, it doesn't affect me or you or anyone that's having fun with the game in any way, shape, or form. But
I'm going to show something real quick from their parent company, and you maybe understand why these things happen, and I don't trust them. But
okay, go
when
on.
You look at this,
and this is all just our own opinions.
Yeah, when you look at this post from
we've all got one.
When you look at this post from IGN on Blue Sky, PlayStation 5 has now outsold every Xbox console ever released, which is how they
That's
frame.
the news.
That's
but let's frame it in this way.
Yeah, it's they're all Ziff Davis media companies. They are all most likely beholden to hit quotas on clicks. So even if this, I 100% believe this guy in his review and all that, it just, that situation always ends up coloring the way I look at anything that those sites do.
I think
in the end.
we probably have a slightly different view in that our knowledge of how much revenue can be generated from an article that does well is completely different to people just reading on the internet. Like,
yeah, if IGN get it, or if a site gets like, take the Doom the Dark Ages gameplay, did 280,000 hits or something, it made like $600. If we had 280,000 hits in that time frame, like, it got 200,000 pretty quickly. If we had 200,000 in like 3 days on the website, it would be what, 30 grand? 40?
Yeah, it would be an obscene amount of money that for a small team like us who have fuck all would probably pay for like a whole year of salary.
Yep.
Like, that's how little we earn. Like, I'm just being very realistic with the audience right now. So there is that, but there is also the
and I want to say, I trust the reviewers. Like, Tie Guy Travis is a really good, Travis Northman reviewed this on IGN. He's a really good reviewer. I don't know the guy from Eurogamer that well, but I fully believe what they're saying. But I'm just, when the parent company also posts this way on social media, it just adds to how people are going to react to all of it. And it's been pretty negative.
Well, the thing with it for me is that how is this going to be applied going forward? Because if we're going to dock a team, like Embark have not hidden that they've done this. Yeah. And what really bugs me reading a lot of the commentary is it just refers to generative AI. Well, generative AI isn't what they're using. They have hired voice actors with the specific knowledge that, hey, for things like ping systems. So we make a map, it's got a bunch of landmarks, they're named after words. We're going to record a bunch of your vocals, but then we're going to use a text-to-speech system that imitates and learns your voice so that as we iterate and add new points of interest and maybe a new map, we don't have to keep getting you back in to keep redoing this boring rigmarole of recording these lines. Everything else, like the shopkeepers and stuff like that, to my knowledge, again, feel free to correct me, but to my knowledge is voice actors that have been paid. That is not the machine learning part. So the only text-to-speech stuff here is the ping system in a multiplayer match, which is like 0.2% of a game. And if you're playing with mates in a team, you're never going to use it. You're just going to, you'll ping, but you're not listening to it. So there's that, right? And are you going to apply this now to however any developer builds a game? If this developer crunches their employees to death, if The Last of Us Part 2 came out today, would we be giving it 10s out of 10s still? Or are we going to apply a different line of thinking? Like, I understand.
Will it make it so that devs just never, ever want to disclose what they're doing for the most part?
Right? Because from a developer perspective, and if I was a small team and I had a multiplayer game like that, like one of the biggest examples I can think of is hiring Peter Dinklage for the original Destiny Ghost. And then we need to build more content because it's a live service game. Peter, no, we're going to have to recast you because you're not available anymore. And now we've pissed off the fans that really love Peter Dinklage's Ghost. I remember that.
That's a wizard from the moon.
It's a wizard from the
moon. NoClip and Danny O'Dwyer and them had been going on about Arc Raiders a lot, working with Embark on their documentary stuff. And Danny was posting yesterday, he's like, it's been a big issue in game dev for a long time. And it just, they finally kind of solved it, but at a time where the worst time possible to have solved it, essentially. Because it's like getting voice actors in, as long as they are paid properly. And that is one main thing, like, I 1000% understand and agree why people wouldn't trust companies. I don't. They have to keep making it clear, and they have to work with the voice actors and keep paying them when they reuse their voices for new stuff, all that. But the LLM stuff compared to like generative AI slop, when you're stealing someone else's IP to make something, always bad. But there are tools and tool sets which people are going to use. And when the creatives are using them in a way that doesn't seem horrible, to just always default to AI bad and boycott this or boycott that, you ruin any actual discourse you can have about it.
Yeah, I actually reached out, and if I get the chance to sit down with the Embark folks, I pinged them and I said, hey, I would like to actually have a chat and understand what you're doing. And I spoke a little bit about this with Jeff Grubb the other week on Games Mess, right? And I think he said, like, yeah, but they're not that small. They can hire these people, spend the money, and get them in again. And I'm like, it's not really about the money. It's about the time and there's a human cost on the development side too here. It's not. We all agree voice actors should be paid, and these voice actors that agreed that too and signed a contract are fine with it. So why do we have to get our knickers in a twist over it? But I find the bigger picture here, and the can of worms that perhaps Eurogamer has inadvertently sprung open is the demand that, well, okay, yeah, I get it. It's one person's opinion, and all opinions are op-eds effectively about a specific game. But you're not really reviewing the product there to a degree. You're reviewing how the product was made. I guess it's tentatively linked, but if you're going to do that, are you going to do it with every game forever going forward? And if there's no transparency on how a game was made, you can't guarantee that kind of oversight. So how can you enforce that kind of setup? I don't know. Ultimately, who gives a shit? It's one opinion, right? I probably wouldn't have run with that. And I definitely wouldn't have knocked the game down to that degree just because of a very minor part of it. But hey, it's one person's opinion. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about it, Chad? Do you think that this is a mountain out of a molehill? Do you think it's the death of video game journalism?
There is no video game journalism. It's like 2 or 3 people that do investigative journalism, which is what people always think of as journalism.
Yeah.
Like journalism can be news aggregation and other stuff, but the actual going out and finding stories is just not something almost anyone in gaming media does.
Yeah. I fucking love Arc Raiders, by the way. I think it's a great game.
Well, that's because you are an AI shill.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so there's a big talk online now, thanks to one of our very own special Nick Baker, who has put out a vague and pointless tweet that says, if what I was DM'd is actually true, big if, next week GTA could actually have its thunder stolen on the hype scale, Lamau.
Sure, Nick.
I don't care. Like Half-Life 3, Mario Odyssey 2, any big thing you can think of that he would be really into, 1/50th of the hype. Like Half-Life 3 would be 1/10 at the most. Mario Odyssey would be 1/10 of the hype of GTA. Nothing is close. It is a dumb, pointless tweet.
Nick can't help himself. He'd want to do that as a rumor mill this weekend, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I've heard there's something big.
Whoa!
There's tons of rumors around Valve with their Frame, which is supposedly their inside-out tracking VR thing. Maybe that if that's it and it's tied to Half-Life 3, none of that's new. Like those have been consistent rumors for months.
Yeah, Valve do have a tendency to try and make a technology showcase with whatever new technology they're building. So,
if they want to come out and just smash the MetaQuest 3 into the ground with their own tech, I'm here for it. Especially because they sent me a Steam Deck, so maybe they'd send me that.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, whatever you think, Arc Raiders is doing well. Arc Raiders is AI generative slop. Eurogamer bad, Eurogamer good. It doesn't really matter. Video game is sold well. An editorial outlet has taken a stance. If you read it and you vibe with it, carry on reading them. If you don't, you move on. That's the end of the story. That's how it is everywhere else. So anyway, next up in news, PlayStation. Not only have they announced a Japan-focused state of play for later on today, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Keep me honest here.
Probably a Where the Winds Meet focused one, if I had to guess.
They also had their financials come out. And yeah, there's some interesting stuff here. Very strong overall. Lots of song and dance being made around the number of PlayStation 5 units sold, shipped, 84 million. Something like that.
They're real close, like 2 million behind PS4, but it costs a lot more. But it also costs them a lot more. So people are like, but they're making more money. It's like they're not actually. The margins were really good when they were selling them cheap, and the margins are pretty bad now, especially with tariffs. They're like, tariffs suck. We've lost a lot of money to tariffs.
There's a lot of detail that you can kind of pick out, I guess, from this. There's some stories there about Helldivers 2 and its huge success for Sony on Xbox. And it's helping boost that bottom line. This comes from Adam Hales over at Windows Central. But apparently the sharp drop in Destiny 2's player numbers and general engagement has become a bit of a headache.
Yeah.
Xbox was actually mentioned by name in the PlayStation financials. Their full-year guidance remains steady despite several headwinds. Sales are now forecast to rise 3% to $29.8 billion, driven primarily due to the impact of foreign exchange rates. Operating income, approximately $3.3 billion, even after Sony absorbed a $200 million tariff hit this quarter. Monthly users climbed 3% year-on-year to 190 million, and total playtime increased 1% across the quarter. When I saw that 190 million, it reminded me of something I saw in the XboxEra Discord with people discussing this. And like the monthly active users for just Minecraft, just one game, yes, it's across all the platforms, is 150 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're 155, and I think King is at like 250. Obviously, because they're on phones, so yeah.
Again, 150 million people playing a game every month.
And a part of that 119 is the Minecraft people on PlayStation.
Yeah, absolutely right. So I bring that up only because of this industry's insistence to just, again, as always, focus on the sales one. To your point earlier, the IGN tweet that was like, look how much better PS5 has done ever than Xbox ever.
It's even above the 360 now. It's like, but they've also made way more money in the Xbox One and Series generations than they did in the 360 gen. So
the 360 gen was a costly gen for Microsoft.
the 360, like I always see like Ryan McCaffrey and a lot of others always talk about the best Xbox generation. It's like not for the company, like maybe for you being young and having more time to play games. But I would also state that there have never been more good games to play in every genre at every price point than in the last decade. It's not even close. There's just too much good stuff. But you're older and have more responsibilities, so you have less time to play them.
I can vibe with that.
And Sony's the main metrics Sony focuses on for growth are monthly active users, which are up over last quarter but down year over year, I think, or down against their top number they ever had, but are okay. And margins, which went down for various reasons, including tariffs and stuff. And margins are the main thing they were focused on. So they're doing well, but they're still probably shifting because I think they said 40% of their
first party
software revenue is from, and everyone always looks at revenue and treats it like profit. But they've got their two metrics, and their revenue, 40% of it's from live service games.
Yeah,
which they only have two. MLB The Show and Helldivers, really, I think.
And Destiny 2.
Oh, Destiny 2, but Destiny 2 is losing. Yeah, is
Yeah.
running like. But like when you compare that to, they said Death Stranding exists. Didn't say anything about sales or how it's performing. But then it's like Ghost of Yotei doing great, 3.3 million. We're happy. But then Death Stranding is just like, and Death Stranding came out. That's like the only reference it has. So
I mean, even Ghost of Yotei, and don't get me wrong, I haven't played it, don't care. Think it looks great. Maybe one day when I can be bothered to get around to these giant open world games. But it's doing worse than the first one, but not by much, right?
Mm-hmm. And it does cost more.
But still, however much it costs to build, you have 84 million console buyers. Woo, sales, console sales. You've only sold 3.3 million of your one big first-party game this half of the year.
Yeah, they've never had the attach rate that Nintendo can. Like, no one has. Microsoft was close to that with Halo on the first Xbox, but even then, once they were selling more consoles, it wasn't... Like, the only one who does that is Nintendo lately, and they only really did it, again, heavily with the Switch. But it's also because people just buy the Switch for Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Like, the indie successes are, like everyone else, few and far between, because there's just so many games that hit the platform. But yeah, no, the numbers are good. The numbers are fully sustainable forever. The thing that the companies care about, though, is making more money. And to do that, Sony needs to get their costs down. That's their main thing they're trying to figure out, is how do we get our costs down? So when everyone keeps talking about, oh, Xbox is just going to keep firing people, it's like, man, if Marathon doesn't hit, I have no idea. They've already cut half of Bungie. Like, I don't know what's left to cut. And their other studios aren't making... Their back catalog does not sell like Nintendo's back catalog sells. So it's
an interesting conundrum for Sony. But Helldivers 2 might be the beginning of the answer to this, right? And per this Windows Central report, and I will put a link in the chat should people want to go check it out. Helldivers 2 released on Xbox August 26th, and early estimates showed it was a strong launch. A report suggested that more than 900,000 units on the first 6 days just on Xbox were sold, but in comparison, the original PlayStation launch was estimated at around 633,000 units, which suggests that on Xbox in the same 6-day window, it sold more initially. I'm not saying lifetime, just in those two 6-day comparisons. And Sony confirmed in their Q2 FY 2025 report saying Helldivers 2, which was also released for Xbox in August of this year, is doing extremely well, not only attracting new users on Xbox, but also seeing increased engagement from existing users on PlayStation 5 and PC. This resulted in a significant increase in sales of the title year on year.
It's the type of result that makes you think they're gonna bring more.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's like all of the pundits going, "Why won't stuff doing this?"
That too,
like,
yeah.
Like, well, that's why. It's not hard.
Forza Horizon 5 made $1 bajillion and sold probably million. Like, it gained 10 million customers after, or it gained 10 million players after joining PlayStation to now. Like, their scoreboard just kept going up and up and up. Like, don't know how many sales that is. But it kept going up in a way it hadn't been for a little bit. Like, it's when the ports make sense, assume that both companies will do them. And it just makes sense more and more now. Like, there was like 5 this year from Xbox. As they can do it, they will, because it's just more money and people are pretty damn entrenched. Like, it doesn't matter if you see 5 people on a server or Discord, saying, yeah, I swapped. And it's like, when you're talking in the millions, that's a pointless little tiny anecdotal sample size, but it powers games coverage. Like, there's this group of 100 people at most that are either good friends or light friends, and it's like, oh, I don't play Overwatch anymore. It must be doing terrible. It's like, no, Overwatch is doing fine. It makes a ton of money. It's always one of the most played games on it's major platforms, but you stopped playing it, so you think everyone stopped, and it's just not
a
the
little
way
bit
it
of
works.
confirmation bias going on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just pleased that according to news and those very, very anecdotal reports of behavior, cloud gaming is good now.
Mm.
Sony just invented it last week.
Well,
the
it's very
PlayStation
funny
Portal.
because PlayStation has been in on streaming so much longer than Xbox. Like they 2012 they bought Gaikai, and then in 2016, 2016 they bought the patents for OnLive. Like, and they've been pushing it since the PS3. Like they've been in streaming a long time. They have a lot of those deals worked out. So when they're really pushing it, they can do it well. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but no, apparently now it's good. It wasn't ever a good option before, but now it's great. Like remote play, cloud streaming. Now it's worth talking about. Now it is. It's a noteworthy thing to enjoy and discuss. So I just find that this industry is just full of interesting
July 2012.
thoughts.
I was right.
Okay, I retract my 2013 comment.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
fair
looked it
enough.
up earlier in like late last week when everyone's like day one they've got more buy your own games than Xbox. Like they know cloud streaming really well, man. They've been in it a long time.
Yeah. Anyways, in other news, Todd Howard surfaced out of his Lazarus machine to tease and talk a little bit about Bethesda and Fallout and all of that jazz to celebrate the Fallout 4 10-year anniversary, which there is a new version of the game out now with all the DLC included.
It's the exact same version of the game. It's just play anywhere. Like nothing's changed, but they did actually send me, and I put a news story up because I guess I was the only one that was told, which was weird, or maybe I was the only one that asked. I didn't see it anywhere else, but they have two patches.
Changed?
They have they have two patches planned.
Oh right.
So one of the main things, they're going to give you more space for mods on Xbox. Which,
that's good.
Yeah, which is one of the main things people were annoyed about. On PlayStation, creation bundles is not displayed as enabled, but it is working. Exit saves are not being created. That is being fixed. Lookup failed instead of name location and user interfaces set for patch 2. Xbox One and PS4 trying to do creations might crash the game. Should be fixed patch 1. Title is slow to navigate. It is not fluid when in the creation storefront on Xbox One or PS4. Scheduled for patch 1. Then increasing the local storage for mods, patch 1. And patch 1 is, I think, the 24th is the date for it.
Oh, okay.
So, some minor things, because obviously it's just Fallout 4. They were just bundling it together for an anniversary edition that's got all the DLC and then a ton of Creation Club stuff. Everything's play anywhere except for Creation Club. So when you buy the anniversary edition, you get 2 bundles, one for Xbox, one for PC. I think that's just because it's an in-game redemption and it's not something that's tied to owning DLC. But yeah, now it is play anywhere. Your Xbox save works on PC. The old PC store version is delisted. But I think if you own it, you still should be able to get to it. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But yeah, essentially, it's still just Fallout 4. So it's not nothing new, but play anywhere. Great.
Yeah. In other good news, though, that wasn't all that Todd really had to talk about. In a long-ranging interview with GQ Magazine, he spoke a lot about Fallout, about what Bethesda have been working on, all sorts of bits and pieces. And he started the interview off by saying, look, Elder Scrolls 6 is still a long way off, and wanted to set expectation with fans by saying, I'm preaching patience. I don't want fans to feel anxious. They talked about Todd Howard's time on the Fallout set, the TV show itself, how he feels about designing games and like what they've done well and what they need to learn from, etc., etc. And at the end, they discussed Todd's work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and how they auctioned creating a character for the charity for Elder Scrolls 6, and they'd had the team in to discuss, and then they spent 3 hours play testing the Elder Scrolls 6 itself in the studio, which suggests that it's further along than you would perhaps think.
Well, it's probably also one of those games that's going to take a long time to polish.
Yeah. Asked as to whether they liked it, Todd remarked, no, I just like to announce stuff and release it. My perfect vision, and I'm not going to say this is going to happen, is that it's going to be a while, and then one day the game will just appear. GQ asked about the shadow drop for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered and whether Bethesda would actually do that for the Elder Scrolls 6. Todd simply replied, "You might say that was a test run. It worked out well." Emphasis mine, obviously, but interesting thoughts from Mr. Todd. Can you imagine the carnage for publishers and developers alike?
It would never happen.
Elder Scrolls 6 is out now.
And VGC had reported a thing previously talked about that Fallout 3 remastered is the next thing. I bet you that would also that's
a shadow drop.
That's a shadow drop.
Yeah,
ruined by us insiders.
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
us I mean them because I don't know anything. Unlike Nick, who loves his vague fucking tweets that then get XboxEra's Nick. Thankfully, the Gaming Leaks thing just said special Nick says. It didn't say XboxEra special Nick, but it will say it on every goddamn news story around it.
Anyway, last couple of news stories now. Sad news. Halo Infinite has had its final update. Oh, well, it hasn't yet. I think it's coming on November 14th, but it is the final one.
Final major update. Yeah, like actual content.
Operation Infinite. Huh. And this is Halo Infinite support coming to an end. In a lengthy blog post, they kind of chucked everything in the kitchen sink at the game here in the last hurrah.
Including something from you, isn't there?
Don't get me fucking started. There's a new operation pass, a premium version, 5 unique armor sets, 6 weapon models, and over 30 Spartan customizations. And the exchange, which is the in-game marketplace for Halo Infinite, is dropping 200 never-before-released armor pieces, attachments, coatings, charms, visors, and other Spartan bits and bobs for you to go play dress up with your genetically engineered super soldier. There's a couple of maps going in as well, including, and this is where I was like, what? Didn't know this was happening. I made a Christmas map called Yuletide for Husky Raid literally 2 years ago. I haven't touched it in 2 years. I haven't done anything with it. I tried to do it in time, like October 2023. And I was like, here you go. And they were like, oh, probably not early enough to get it in for Christmas. I'm like, okay, well, I tried it anyway. I'm moving on with my life. It's now in there. Enjoy. Merry Christmas, Halo. Thanks for inviting me to come and play Halo Campaign Evolved. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm not a bitter little bitch. I'm only joking. All right.
No, you're not.
It was clearly an oversight. I understand. But the team did share a thank you from the studio to the fans, saying, as the Halo Studios team shifts focus to the in-development projects such as Halo Campaign Evolved, we'd like to thank our Halo Infinite players for years of steadfast support. It's been a legendary run of seasons, events, fractures, and operations with plenty of maps, modes, sandbox editions, forged tool upgrades, and incredible memories along the way. None of these milestones would have been possible without the guidance and enthusiasm of our community. Blah, 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 blah. Your excitement is the lodestar for our every effort. Whether you're a long-time player, a recently returned Spartan, or a brand new ally, we're grateful to have you on our fire team. As we look ahead, your feedback will continue to help us refine our goals in hopes of exceeding expectations and delivering the best Halo experiences possible. Throughout our day, we look to your suggestions, your art, and even your memes as constant reminders of our dual commitment to faithfully stewarding Halo's legacy and forging its future. Since formally announcing Halo Campaign Evolved in October, we've been floored by the response from both longtime fans and Halo newcomers. We're humbled by the trust you've placed in us, and we can't wait to introduce new players to the iconic story of Halo Combat Evolved for the first time in 2026.
When you said Lodestar, I immediately just thought of
Lodestar.
Evil will always win because good is dumb.
He will always win because good is dumb. They're getting him out of retirement to be in the Spaceballs too. Rick Moranis.
Amazing.
But yeah, I do see Analog AI, those 10 years support in 343 run fast. That's because 343 is gone. The people who had this whole plan, who put this game out, were all fired or left. That's why they did the name change. It's new management, new focus, new aim, without like a completely shutting down a studio and making another one. They restructured what they had pretty heavily, moving to a new engine, all that type of stuff. So why keep supporting something that is doing okay but not great in an old engine that you will never use again? I'm guessing would be a big internal thing. Like, we're all learning Unreal Engine 5. Also, we really got to keep around the people who know slip space. to keep working on Slipspace instead of letting them go work on Unreal Engine 5 and focus on the new stuff. Like it's a conundrum where you want to support something as long as you can, but also unless it was going to be coming to PS5, and I do think this puts the nail in the ever coming anywhere else coffin.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's just not worth, especially with the rumors that they have other things close that it would be competing with itself from them.
Nothing to say, absolutely nothing to say that they can't launch a cross-platform, multi-platform, PlayStation, PC, Xbox, Halo multiplayer thing in 2026. There's zero to say that they can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if they are.
You may have
nothing to say they can't.
You may have a certain affinity for them to do that, but there's no guarantee.
You might say that. Yeah. Anyway, next up in news, last couple of news stories now. Circana and the lovely Matt Piscatella have released their weekly engagement trackers for the top 15 titles by total weekly active users, not concurrent, just total, across week ending November 1st, 2025. Battlefield 6 climbs into the top 3 on the United States, PlayStation and Xbox platforms, and leads across Steam. In North America,
you want to know
geographies.
You want to know what's the top 5 games in PlayStation? It's Fortnite, Call of Duty, Battlefield 6, Roblox, GTA. You want to know the top games? Oh, the top 5 on Xbox. That would be Fortnite, Call of Duty, Battlefield 6, Roblox, and GTA.
What?
And then number 6 on PlayStation is NBA, and number 7 on Xbox is NBA. Then you got Skate. You also have Skate on the other one. You got Marvel Rivals on both. But you know what? You have that jumped up big time to number 8, The Outer Worlds 2. Another solid debut for that one, taking the spot that Ninja Gaiden 4 had. Ninja Gaiden 4 staying in the top 15, still at number 14, which is not bad for a relatively short single-player game. Helldivers 2, number 13 on Xbox. Nowhere to be seen on PlayStation.
Interesting. It's weird. It's people playing on a dead console.
But the top 15, or Power Simulator 2, also number 11. Popping right in there and on Game Pass for launch. But yeah, man, those friggin' Ghost of Yotei up at number 12 on PS5.
That's good.
Still holding strong. It is a longer open world one, so it might have a little bit more of a tail, hopefully. But yeah, like when you look at these lists, they are extremely similar between the two. WWE shot way up on PlayStation because I think they gave it away as PS Plus. So it's back up there again as well. But yeah, for the most part, it's the same games in the top 20 on each platform every month, with a few exceptions.
Go figure.
And did you look at Steam Mexico?
No, I have
number
to admit, I
12
didn't look at Steam
up
Mexico. From
from number 15 is Halo: The Master Chief Collection. They love it. They absolutely love that game. There it is, almost always in on that freaking list lately. It's very funny. Yeah.
Wow. There you go. Xbox Cloud Gaming has finally made its way to India. It was actually spotted, and I'm going to say this first, by one of our Discord members, Big Shick. I said Big Shick with a K on our Discord's platform last night while I was ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I was immediately like, I could write up a news story, but I don't have a way to get info and prove it, and I don't have a contact. Like Windows Central.
I reached out to Microsoft. They've not responded to me. They did respond to Windows Central and confirmed that it is now live.
You probably emailed versus just sending like a WhatsApp or something.
We
need to be more friendly. We need to get in.
America is awake at 11 p.m. at night. I don't think the UK PR team are.
No.
But yeah, it was confirmed then by Red PHX, aka Better X Cloud.
I got a couple
2 new
servers.
servers in India, Central India and South India. So it's now live, and you can manually select it using the Better X Cloud app.
I posted the news to the Reddit, and people from India were already in there like, yeah, I'm getting like 5 millisecond connection to this. This is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's
cool.
the new,
more people playing games.
It definitely seems like they have new tech going into the cloud, because they had the 1440p and the 30K bit rate that looks really good, but isn't available on everything everywhere, because I think they're slowly swapping it out. I wonder what the hell you do with old Xbox Series cloud server blades.
Sell them to me. I'll have them. Give them to me. I can't afford them.
And everyone's like, oh, they're still using Series S. It's like, yeah, it's way less energy consumption. Man, that is 95% of the problem with cloud. And one of the reasons I think you see the low power mode from PlayStation, like if you can have these things use less power, that is key. That's the big thing, because that shit's expensive.
Especially in this data center driven world.
Yeah. It's really expensive. That's what Satya Nadella said. The main reason they still have AI hardware in warehouses is because they can't afford to, they don't have the capacity to power all of it right now.
Yeah. Last couple of news stories, I think, again, because I've just found another one that I'd at least want to mention, maybe. Silent Hill 2 remake is pretty definitely coming to Xbox thanks to a leak picked up by the folks over at True Achievements.
It wasn't even a leak.
They have special back-end access.
And they took advantage of it, and hopefully Xbox doesn't get too mad at them.
It is irritating because I've asked, hey, can we build that? Can we borrow that access? And all the people that built it for the folks at True Achievements, they just don't exist at Microsoft anymore. And the answer is always like,
one of the people from True Achievements is on our Discord, and I was joking. It was like one of the main ways I know people get this, because I have been asked in the past. If you get a review code early, you then have access in your order history to that store page, even if it's unlisted. So if somebody had that, then they could potentially give that information and that link to someone else. Because if you have the link, it works. You just can't find it in search. And they're like, nope, it wasn't that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But but also when you have that special access, you've got to be careful.
They've got a whole tool plug-in that lets them pull. That's how they track all the achievement tracking stuff. It's cool, and it's something I would love to be able to build other tools out of, but it doesn't exist anymore. There's no documentation to build it. I don't know how they maintain it either. Like, what happens one day if Microsoft change everything and it all gets switched off? But hey.
So it was also scheduled as the 21st in the UK, which means it's probably the 20th in the US, because it's always midnight.
And isn't that the rumored day for a partner preview purchase coordinate Windows Central?
Yeah, like 18th, 19th, 20th always made the most sense. They're not going to do it on the 21st, which is a Friday, so I wouldn't be shocked if at some point this week or next week we get told on the 20th the partner preview is coming. And Silent Hill 2 was Play Anywhere, which on that store page, which is the thing that Jez talked about, it being like a heavily focused on Play Anywhere partner preview. Getting this, I doubt it'll happen at this point, but I really wish they get Dave the Diver. It's a pretty fun game. It goes on too long, but it's pretty fun. But they probably will never get that one. I don't know why. Well,
we'll see. Last news story now. Obviously this week, and indeed the next time you speak to us on Headlines, it will be the day before the biggest game release of the year. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is coming its way towards us. Activision have been slowly but steadily releasing plenty of information about what is coming to players. And I've got to say, like, they really piqued my interest with their last blog post, which is the Call of Duty end game, which has been detailed. So if you haven't read this, or you just like whatever Call of Duty, I think they're onto something clever here. So you've got a 4-player co-op campaign, 11 missions. You play through it. You get to the end. You've unlocked the 12th mission, end game, which actually turns it into this huge open world map called Avalon. And you can go in either solo or with up to 3 friends, so 4-man squads, up to 32 players, roaming the open world against the world. So you're not against each other. It's player versus everyone. All right. So enemies, whatever. What does the E stand for? Environment. That's it. I knew it began with an E. And there's all of this kind of like leveling up, and you build your character, but they've added an extraction shooter style twist where if you've done all these cool objectives and you've built all this stuff and you've collected all this gear and loot, if you don't extract and survive, you lose
everything. You lose it.
Which I'm like, oh, and this is cool because I think that so many gamers, especially people that perhaps don't have as much time, like us dads as an example, might prefer a little bit of PvE over the PvP. And the idea of just teaming up with your buddies and shooting the shit.
And zombies is long. Like zombies is really cool, but zombies can be pretty long. They have their shorter versions for people, but they're like, I want the full zombies experience. You're going to play for a while. You got to know how to find this shit. To do. But yeah, no, this sounded awesome. It was also funny because I saw like Insider Gaming. We had the exclusive on this. It's like, yeah, someone who went and saw the presentation with me probably told you. Because the day after the presentation, you guys were like, there's going to be an extraction mode or something. And it's like, yeah, I can't talk about it for 2 more weeks, but cool. But yeah, no, so you go through the whole thing. Everything's in co-op. Everything always helps levels up all your guns for every mode. Like all the unlocks you can do anywhere in anything now, which is cool.
It counts across all modes, which is cool. And that doesn't count, like you mentioned, it's got zombies, which is another cooperative campaign of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the usual multiplayer suite with I think 19 maps by the beginning of season 1. And there's Dead Ops Arcade, which is like this top-down COD
the twin stick shooter.
Twin stick shooter. Like, what the fuck?
And it doesn't have, there's no DMZ, but it has the 20v20 mode in the giant maps with the wingsuits and everything. So it's got something kind of like it. I forget the full name.
It just sounds like a lot of game, lot of game for your video game buck.
And it's crazy because it's only been a year, but they had a lot of time to work on Black Ops 6 and 7, and they worked on them at the same time.
Interesting.
And everything they learned with 6 has just gone into 7, and it's why I kept telling people when they're like, "No, Battlefield's going to eat its lunch," and I'm like, "Man, this is the best COD has been in a long time," and COD is too big. So
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, it's too big, and hey, for once you interrupt me, now the internet will cheer. But it's too big to ever die in 1 year, and especially when last year's game was really good. And if this year's game is really good as well, like the Modern Warfare 3 fiasco was literally a bad campaign and great multiplayer. Like people really like the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, but still it scored like 5s and 6s because it was a really easy target to kick because of the weak campaign.
There's a lot of it's going to suck this year. Modern futuristic hardware. Battlefield 6 rules. Battlefield 6 is great, right? But like, I guarantee you next week, Steam numbers paint Call of Duty Black Ops 7 in a terrible light. It's the outlets are going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. They're all going to do it. They're going to seize on that headline, get your engagement, and it's going to be bollocks because the COD audience has virtually never played on Steam.
Yeah, the COD audience is
why
on.
Would they suddenly
the
stop?
COD audience is on BattleNet and PlayStation and Xbox. That's where it's always been. It's never been big on Steam.
I don't even play COD that much. Like, I dip in, I have fun.
Yeah, you had fun last year, and then that was about it because we got busy with other shit. But it's just everyone wants their pound of engagement flesh, and right now it's heavy on ARC and anti-AI, and it's also jumped to Battlefield with their weak maps and mediocre battle royale. And then everyone will be super hyped on COD Blops. Wow, this is actually good. And then in 2 weeks, I'll hate it. And that's just the cycle for every one of these games. It's really easy to follow the hype. And as long as the hype is super positive, you're great. But then the core audience is going to be negative as shit. And if you go on the Battlefield subreddit, they think it's like the worst game ever. Because it's missing so many of the big things that people love about Battlefield, which is mainly big guns, good maps for sniping and using vehicles and flying around and shit. And it's like, yeah, Battlefield 6 is built to be more COD than it is because it was led by a guy who freaking made COD what it is. So I got pretty bored with Battlefield right off the bat. I would rather play Battlefield 5 than 6. And people look at me like I'm insane, but Battlefield 5 had like the best shooting I've ever had in a multiplayer game, bar none. And it had really well balanced vehicle stuff. And I don't find any of that, the maps or the vehicle stuff, well balanced right now. So yeah, I am looking forward to Call of Duty Black Ops. I really liked the campaign last year. Really looking forward to the campaign this year, doing it co-op. So we'll see how coverage ends up going. Servers go live midnight New Zealand time, but you can't just change your Xbox. You have to also change your Activision profile location.
Good luck.
Like with beta. When people did the beta early, you had to change both. It's probably against the terms of service. They never go after anyone, but just be careful. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Anyway, that's it. Cat cables. That's it for headlines. We'll be back on Thursday with more video game news. As an advance notice for our patrons, in case you missed it, there is a brand new episode went out yesterday for Patreon Peeps, which is our exclusive first looks at video games, featuring myself and the lovely Cat. Not that Cat, different Cat, playing the Seance of Blake Manor, which is a 19th century Irish Gothic
the best reviewed game of the year
story.
Alongside Hades, I think.
Yeah, it's looking really...
Hades is higher, but Hades has all of its old reviews still there on OpenCritic.
Yeah, we played 40 minutes and Yeah, I really like that. I think that's going to be maybe my Christmas game.
Yeah. It's a 94 on OpenCritic. It's only got 11 reviews though.
Yeah, well, imagine it. It requires a bit of brain power to get through it. So, you know.
And as a smaller game, it's just really hard to get the attention of a lot of outlets, especially when it's only on PC as well.
Which is why your support means so much. So thank you to everybody that supports us if you're via YouTube membership, Patreon membership, patreon.com/XboxEra if you want to participate. Because, you know, with your help and your funding, we've reviewed more games than IGN this year, which I think is, frankly,
last time we checked, which was a little while ago.
True, but I still think we're probably
With the Fairy on his own is keeping up.
Fairy is the unsung hero this last couple of months.
Have created more games on OpenCritic than most fucking websites I've reviewed, because that website never ever puts things. I've had to create like 10 games in the last week. It's driving me insane.
It is owned by Valnet.
The people we met through there were nice, but just not Valnet, OpenCritic.
Love you, everybody. See you on Thursday. Ciao for now.
Yeah.
Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty, we'll stay together through thick or thin. Friends forever, we'll be together. We're on top, 'cause we play to win. You've got a friend in me. When times get tough, you'll see. We've been together for so long. When I'm weak, you make me strong. I know I can depend on you to show the way and see me through. Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty, we'll stay together through thick or thin. Friends forever, we'll be together. We're on top, 'cause we play to win. We'll make our dreams come true. There's nothing we can't do. We've been together for so long. When I'm weak, you make me strong. I know I can depend on you to show the way and see me through. Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty,